Ahoy there, and welcome back to DohMance Dawn. I am Luke, he, him, sometimes they, them, and I am hopefully coming in clearer and crisper than you've heard me for a long while. I am joined by my lovely, beautiful, and wonderful podcast co-host, Janine.
I'll accept some of those adjectives. Hi, everybody. My name is Janine. My pronouns are she, they, and I don't have a third thing to say.
Are you original?
I mean, I guess that depends on your definition of original.
Are you the only one?
I think so.
Are you sexual?
Are we doing a thing?
Are you everything you need? Because you better rock your body now. Janine?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Rock your body, yeah.
Okay.
Backstreet's back, alright.
I never know until the last moment if you're doing a bit, and then like as soon as I knew I was in it, I was like, "Oh, I don't know how to get out of it." Like a corn maze.
You gotta pull the ripcord. Alright. Yes, welcome back to DohMance Dawn, episode 60. That is a 6 and a 0. We are 9 episodes from episode 69. Nice.
Nice.
And we are in, we're in a good place. We're close to being done with Thriller Bark. And then we're going to have a filler episode, and then stuff's going to get even weirder. Especially because at the end of this episode, all the Straw Hats are dead. So,
watch along at home, folks.
Yes,
I don't know enough to dispute that.
If you don't know what this podcast is, this is the podcast where we discuss The Simpsons and One Piece as comparative forms of animation, and then fan cast Simpsons characters as new One Piece characters. And we actually have new characters this week from The Simpsons and One Piece. These episodes initially ran between September 14th through October 19th of the year 2008. This is when I left to go to college at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. That school no longer exists.
I think I was just coming back from the first time I tried to move to Austin and it failed miserably.
Mm-hmm.
And
you were shipping off to Austin?
Yes.
Like the Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, but instead of having like an Irish beat, it's more of like a banjo.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of the best banjo that I can do. Yeah, we have 3 Simpsons episodes to cover this week. The first is Sex, Pies, and Idiot Scrapes, where Homer gets arrested, and after getting bail taken care of, he becomes a bounty hunter. He enlists Flanders to help him, but Flanders makes Homer promise that he'll play by the rules, but then eventually Homer breaks the rules, so Flanders quits. But then he has to bring in Homer, who never showed up for his day in court, and after a long fight between the two, Homer saves Flanders and lets himself be arrested. And then the B-plot is Marge gets a job at an erotic bakery that she doesn't initially know is an erotic bakery. And it literally doesn't go anywhere. There's just some solid gags.
There's a really good Skinner and Chalmers bit that is the spiritual, like, sequel to Steamed Hams.
Yeah. Like, if you imagine a Skinner accidentally ends up with an erotic cake situation, you can, like, write it yourself. Yeah, it knew everything that it was going to do. It's a Homer gets a new job episode. I think Flanders adds some nice twist to the mix. as Flanders is very strong and has a moral code this time that is kind of less judgy.
Yeah, I was really surprised on how well they worked together because I don't know. We haven't had like an episode that really like showcased Flanders like in a while. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of forgetting where we left off with him, and it took me a minute to realize, oh, he already had like some at least one sympathetic episode before.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of the last times that we've seen him were hardcore fundamental conservative Christian Flanders, like the anti-evolution one. And then I'm gay, Dad, I'm gay.
Yeah,
The second episode is Lost Verizon, which is weird. Bart ends up with actual actor Dennis Leary's cell phone and uses it for pranks, and in the end, Dennis lets Bart keep the phone, but he lets Marge know how to track it. Lisa tells Bart about the tracking when Marge keeps interrupting his pranks because she has moral concerns about tracking, so Bart sends the family chasing after a bird with the tracker that heads to Machu Picchu, which is where Lisa coincidentally wanted to go. But while the family is gone chasing after Bart slash the bird, he realizes he misses his mom, and Marge realizes after talking to a statue that she needs to be less overprotective, and they reconcile. Ah,
why did they make like an entire indigenous population a bunch of wusses?
yeah, and they like the Simpsons wiki doesn't even mention Hachakutek, which is the name of the statue, which just seems lazy. Like they based it on an actual statue. Simpsons wiki and Wiki of Simpsons, get that together. I'm not going to do that for you because I'm lazy, but the Dennis Leary stuff is so weird because I forgot that Dennis Leary was having a really big moment, and then he put out some very dumb stuff because he falls into the category of, well, I think both sides of politics are dumb. Also, let me put in a bikini photo of Danica Reed in my book so we can all sexualize her. And also, kids didn't used to have autism. Why do all these kids have autism now? I'm tired of all these people being weak and concerned about things. It's like, that's why we just let him go off and do Rescue Me, and we forgot that he existed.
It's very strange
Mm-hmm.
because at this point, I was thinking to myself, Dennis Leary, the only way that I've ever going to hear that name in like a public setting is if there is a trailer for a new Ice Age movie.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the name just doesn't come up.
he had like a really bad Comedy Central talk show for a bit, and I did buy his book in college, which is how I know how bad it was. It was just kind of like, I don't agree with any of this. Why did I buy this book? Oh, I wanted to sponsor a local bookstore, and I was interested to see how this was. Yeah, it was bad. So, yeah, the episode feels very generic in ways. I kind of wish that them going to Machu Picchu was a bit more on like Bart trying to help Lisa out instead of it being fully coincidental, but I think that would have also given Bart too much work.
I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, it felt like both of these things were just would have been good like B story plots if they had like a better A story plot like connected to it.
Yeah, instead it's just a very weak A plot, and there's The B plot is too tangential to be like a full-on B plot. Because, yeah, it's just meh, Simpsons. The last one is Double Double Boy in Trouble, where Bart does too many pranks and Marge ends up getting fed up. So Bart swaps places with Simon, who is a rich lookalike. It turns out that Simon's half-siblings want to kill Simon for the inheritance. Simon, meanwhile, enjoys time with Marge, who wants to love her son, but Bart makes it so hard. And then Simon gets revealed and gets the family over in time to save Bart from a skiing-related murder attempt, and they swap back. And this one also just had an ending that didn't really go anywhere. But also importantly, this had Transgoal's MILFhouse wife.
Yes, MILFhouse.
Ah!
Because the two had children, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
she's
They
a
were.
mom, she's a MILFhouse.
Yeah. Like, the episode weirdly is like, oh yeah, we're going to do a standard plot, and then there's just a bunch of Family Guy level gags, like when they're naming all of the like neighbors who live nearby, and it's like McDreamy, McSteamy, Fleetwood Mac, Macaulay Culkin. It's like these aren't good jokes.
They aren't. And it's very much in the Family Guy, like just throw as much as you can out there and see if something sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Ernst listing off on all of his siblings and how they died. That one I also feel was kind of in the same vein. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the poison potato works.
Yeah. And we do get like some good characters from this that we can now use, including Daisy McGunnan, who is essentially what's her name's character from Planet Terror with the gun leg.
Yes.
We get the Thung and the Bulk. We get Boba Fett, Janine Boba Fett.
That's true. We get.
Gorilla,
I
Gorilla
felt like
Dennis
we should
Leary.
have got Boba Fett before. But then again, they also did like not they didn't like directly reference Star Wars. They were very selective when they referenced Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I watched The Last Jedi today in a theater, and I've got opinions on that I'm not going to share here because I don't think you care about that, Janine.
I care more about the bear that has raccoon nunchucks.
Raccoon Nunchuck Bear. There's also the Scarlet Tanager we can use when we need a bird. We get Hollywood producer bigwig Brian Grazer.
La-di-da.
I know. But we're here also to talk about One Piece. Specifically episodes 370 through 375. These include a secret strategy to turn the tables. Nightmare Luffy appears.
The Straw Hat Crew annihilated! Full throttle Kage abilities!
The battle for superiority starts. Luffy versus Luffy.
The conclusion arrives. Deliver the finishing blow.
The bodies vanish. The morning sun pierces through the Nightmare Island.
The Endless Crisis orders to obliterate the Straw Hat Crew.
So, Brooke returns to the party refreshed by drinking milk with a bag of salt, while Moria is now piloting Oars, the giant zombie from inside his body. It is important to note here that since Oars is undead, he doesn't actually feel pain from the Straw Hat Crew's attacks as he fights them. And while he fights, he uses a Gum Gum pistol, which actually stretches this time, and he knocks Nami out. You bastard.
That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's
Because I was like, surely this guy can't. And then he did. And then they gave the explanation. And I was like, okay, fine, One Piece. Whatever. I let so much go before. I kind of have to give you this too.
Meanwhile, the human Risky brothers bring Luffy to meet their captain, Lola the Proposer, who proposes to Luffy, who turns her down. They reveal that they've been capturing freed shadows, and they fill Luffy with 100 shadows, creating Nightmare Luffy. Just
Badass
imagine
design.
all those men inside you, all those shadows inside you. We then find out that Moria, because he is now piloting Oars, can use Shadow Revolution, which forces Oars' body to follow the shape of Moria's shadow, allowing him to use Luffy's attacks, which take Brook out. Robin then holds Moria, threatening to snap his neck, but because she hesitates, Moria swaps places with his shadow Doppelman, cuts Robin's shadow, which knocks her out, and then returns to Oars' cockpit. Like, Robin, you had to hesitate because you were a hero, but I appreciate you going for it. Robin will choke a bitch.
Yeah, it's good to know that you have somebody who has that ability, but I don't know. I don't. Having the killer instinct for it is not necessarily a thing that you entirely want. People shouldn't want to have to kill.
Yeah, but also Mori is a piece of shit who has forced at least 1,000 people to live in a never-ending nightmare of twilight.
Yeah, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Really big, major trolley problem in this piece.
No. Like, this way of approaching the trolley problem would be you can either save 1,000 people, including yourself, but you just run over the guy who's going to drive over everybody unless he is stopped. Like, I guess technically that is a trolley problem, but it's not fewer people if, like, the person doing the danger is actively one of the people you can choose to kill. Chopper, meanwhile, realizes that all of the fighting is weakening Oar's body, especially because he doesn't feel pain or heal, but then Chopper gets knocked out. With only Sanji, Zoro, and Usopp left standing, they try and feed the salt to Oars, but Doppelman just grabs the bag, Oars smashes Zoro, and the salt is wasted on the ground. And then before Oars is able to hit Usopp, he is saved by Nightmare Luffy. All of the other survivors on the island come out from the woodwork as Nightmare Luffy starts to overpower Oars, eventually hitting Oars and Moria before all the shadows leave Luffy's body and he collapses. Oars gets back up, but the rest of the Straw Hats also recover and have a new plan where, working together, they set up Oars' body to get frozen all over again with a straight spine before Luffy breaks Oars' spine with a bone balloon, defeating him, not knocking him out. Oars is still fucking conscious, which is horrifying.
Doesn't feel pain. Just doesn't know why he can't get up.
Yeah, it's some wrestling shit.
Yeah, I love it.
Uh-huh. Like, it is an all-time great combo move. Unfortunately, the sun begins to rise, Luffy is stuck in chibi form, and the shadows haven't returned yet. Moria refuses to give up and plans to let the sun kill all of them. And he calls Luffy's underlings weak. Moria then uses Shadow's Asgard to fill his body with all 1,000 shadows that are out there, turning him into a massive toad monster, which also deactivates the zombies on the island. Like, this is some great, oh, you thought it was over. No, things are getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And as the sun starts to dissolve the crew, the Straw Hats and Captain Lolo refuse to run, and Luffy activates Gear 2 and does his best to punch the shadows out of Moria, who is struggling to contain them. Lola and the other survivors start calling out to their shadows as the sun reaches its peak, and they are dissolving. And Luffy lands one final blow that shoots all the shadows out of Moria. They fly back across the world, and Moria is defeated. And it's like, oh, great, it's time to celebrate. Usopp is reasonably worried that they're going to fight even harder villains like them in the future. And Lola promises to help them before, oh, right, Kuma is on the island. His job is to ensure that nothing gets out if Moria gets defeated. He goes to kill all the survivors, and Zoro is the only person left who can stand in his way. And that's how I set up a cliffhanger, Janine.
I love it.
You aren't. You're going to be actively upset about what happens next, my friend.
Sure. Okay. I don't know. Like, I'm at this point, it's been a roller coaster of, oh, hey, this is a victory. Oh, but no, now shit's real. Oh, but this happened, so they want it over here, but oh, the danger's not over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel that some of these moments were made just because Oda went too long without having to draw Chopper crying.
He likes to make the Chopper cry.
Yep. So no matter what, if there's something big and somebody's got to be freaking out, we're going to look over to Chopper who's going to be freaking out. And listen, I love it too, but it just feels like, yeah, this guy does not go like
Quietly into the
3
night.
chapters without having to show Chopper doing the freak out face.
Fair. Well, we are going to start doing our freak out face. We have 6 characters to match, and one of them is going to be very important, and the others are just kind of like, whatever. So up first, we have the Human Risky Brothers. And my Rodrigo style was McDreamy and McSteamy. Like, the Human Risky Brothers are some grungy looking dudes. And so I think having generic handsome doctors is a funny joke. My throwback was the Handsome Bachelor's Brothers, which are essentially gender swapped Patty and Selma. Janine, who do you have?
I had Fleetwood Mac, and my argument was I would think that it was really funny. But I also now see a lot much more humor in McDreamy and McSteamy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do love being able to permanently put those names inside of our podcast and acknowledge culturally, as a nation, we called characters that. We called them fan names like that.
Yeah.
To their faces.
Mm-hmm. I'm good to use McDreamy and McSteamy.
Hell yeah.
All right. We then have Charlotte Lola. Janine, who do you have for Lola?
MILFhouse.
So Janine, my Rodrigo side was also female adult MILFhouse. My throwback was Moleman's wife. We are getting a major interrupting Din Din Mushi call because every person who I mentioned this to had one very specific suggestion, and it is going to get you to save MILFhouse. Because, Janine, there is a secret about Charlotte Lola.
What's that?
Oh, there's 2 of them.
What?
There is 2 of them.
Strong bad button. We are a few podcast years away from reaching that, but Charlotte Lola has a twin sister who we will eventually meet. Lola is also known for all of her failed proposals, the most fitting character we can use for Charlotte Lola is Selma Bouvier.
Huh. Interesting.
And like Mike Patton, the guy who joined our Discord just to say it should be Selma. Like, I didn't write down everyone. Like, there is not. I will toss on a second. Oh yeah, you can suggest a second character. No one specifically is going to get to pick their character because everyone who suggested was like, "Oh yeah, no, it should be Selma Bouvier."
Damn.
Yeah, that one welder guy, reverse eye patch, Atticus, Wombat. Like everyone is like, "Yeah, no, it's Selma."
Okay, well, hold on. Before we do that,
Uh-huh.
I'm putting a lot of trust for Patty, and Patty kind of close to my heart.
Fair.
Is there anything that you could be able to tell me about her sister that would seal this deal for me?
Her sister marries a person who is very into smoking and is going to get some really big crazy stuff and is also related to the biggest MILF in One Piece.
This is tough.
It is going to be one of those why didn't you pick X like questions if we don't go this way. Oh god, and that yeah, we could use their dad. God, yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Yeah, like it is a
The thing that's stopping me is it's the gay aspect.
yeah, we are getting closer to One Piece's most canonically adjacent gay character. They don't have any canonically lesbian characters, but I will do my best to set it up so that our Patty character, Lola's sister, will have a lady partner in our fan art. Which will be a challenge, but it is a challenge that I'm making a promise to you about, and I will even give you a warning saying, hey, you should find a lady for this character.
Sure.
All right.
Don't say I didn't give you anything, you guys.
Yeah. Also, this will just be scored as all.
I guess.
We then have three characters who just get their shadows back. First, we have Goo, who is a pirate captain. I had Dennis Leary and Kurt Loder. None of these people mattered so far. Who do you have, Janine?
Patrick Fairley.
The erotic baker.
Yes.
Janine, I'm going to say something and you're going to say, why are we doing this? And then in several years, you'll say, okay, I understand why you're doing this. We need to Uter pile our bakers, including our erotic bakers. We are not going to have enough bakers.
We're not gonna have enough bakers, so we're gonna need this baker that
Yeah.
makes sexy
Erotic
cakes.
cakes.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any opinion towards Dennis Leary or Kurt Loder?
um. Yeah, let's get into Dennis Leary. I don't think we're gonna have like a saber-toothed tiger character coming up soon.
God fucking damn it, we do.
Oh my god. Okay, we have to keep him. We have to keep him just for that. Then. All right, give it a Kurt Loder.
Okay. Yeah, we are going to have a VJ. We have enough VJs that we can use. We then have Asahiya, who is a Marine who lost his shadow. Who do you have for Asahiya?
I just have FBI agent.
I have Macaulay Culkin or Turkish Sailor. The Turkish Sailor was from the one where they all end up on the boat that's headed to Turkey at the end of the episode. He has a mustache. I was just looking for a sailor.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Which FBI agent was this? Oh. I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember the exact scene.
Let's see. I think that came from one on the Simpsons wiki. FBI agent. Nope, not the fandom page. Okay, it's on Wiki Simpsons. There was two of them. There's a brown-haired one and a bald one with a mustache. They're the ones who are listening to Mo, who is spying on Marge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine just using the first one because we probably need to hold on to
People with mustaches?
who are bald, yeah.
Ah.
All right. And then last we have Margarita, who... This is like the worst of the shadows, because it's like... So you've been a maid. You're the person who... what's her name? I am blanking on it. That Sindri's shadow came from. And your boss is just majorly being a creep to you, because it feels like he's trying to push you for some sexual stuff there, and yeah, it's just weird. Like, I just don't like the power dynamic of, oh, I better not open any windows for you or any curtains during the day. My Rodrigo side was Stevie Nicks, and my throwback was Teen Marge. And then, like, with the Stevie Nicks pick, my idea was just kind of like we could use, what's his name? He was also from Fleetwood Mac. That way we're using both of them. Who do you have?
Well, I went entirely in another direction because I actually hoped that Margarita was able to baby trap the rich bastard.
Uh-huh.
So I went ahead and went with a rare pair that you could only get in this kind of casting, baby. That's right.
The thong and the bulk.
Oh my god. No, I went with Daisy McGunnan and Boba Fett.
Okay, Janine,
They're both bounty hunters. They would have so much to talk about.
I'm going to say something, and it's both going to surprise you and not surprise you. We need to save Daisy McGunnan for a One Piece character who is a hot woman who has a gun for a leg, and that is her entire personality.
Oh my god. The future looks bright for me.
She also has relationship problems and can probably easily go by. So
I could fix her.
yeah, no, please. When we get to her, I hope that you're like, yeah, no, I can fix her. Let's all set up Janine with the character who, if you have read ahead on One Piece, know who I am talking about.
The thug and the milk, then.
Yeah, it can be the thung and the milk.
Yes, love is a battlefield, baby.
All right.
I really hope that is the frame that gets selected for the draw, because one of them would have to be in a maid outfit.
I mean, I feel like the thung would be Margarita. What a revolting development. I've got my shadow back. Yeah. So this was a nice quick episode, considering that we had a bunch. Wait, what? Did I forget to put a character on the sheet? Oh no, I just didn't write down his name. Igana is the name of Margarita's employer, so I didn't put that down as a separate one. It's been a time. Okay, well, that works then. So Janine gets 2 points for Margarita and Igana. So our Risky Bros are McDreamy and McSteamy, our Charlotte Lola and Selma Bouvier, our Goo is Kurt Loader, our Ashahia is FBI agent from Lost Horizon, our Margarita is the Thung, and our Igana is the Mulk. So, Janine, where can people find you online?
You could find me on Twitter and Blue Sky, Janine Juliet. You could find me on Instagram, Janine is dope. You could find me also on a podcast I do, Wrestle Girlies, with the beautiful artist Flighty Buttless. I fell off that, and I gotta get back to editing. But hey, thanks for sticking around if you're still waiting for the next one. But Luke, where are you found online?
You want to know what's really fucked up, Janine?
Tell me what's really fucked up.
Next month, September, I have 6 or 7 new comics that are going to be out.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing 2 shows. I'm going to be tabling at the Middletown Comic Expo with adjacent friend of the show, Rad. And then I'm also going to be tabling at CXC with my lovely Finnish comics cohort, Suri, where we are going to have 2 books that are going to be out, and both of them are pretty queer in a positive way. So,
Nice.
Yeah, I have so many books coming out, and it's like, oh, I need to get money to pay for them, because printing costs money. You can find me on Blue Sky at Coltreg, KOLTREG. I'm also on Discord under the same name, or Reddit under the same name. But yeah, that's where you can find me. You can also find the other comics that I've written and like download them for free at coltreg.itch.io or coltreg.gumroad. Itch.io is better, but Gumroad has a bunch of stuff that you can't get other places because the passage of time changes our relationships to things and people, and yeah. Our covers are done by the wonderful, handsome, and currently on strike Mike Patton. Support the animators union that is currently striking. If you somehow produce animation, help them to get their demands. You can find him on Instagram at Patton Pending, PATTENPENDING. And this is DohMance Dawn that you've been listening to. You can find us at dohmancedawn.com. We have a Facebook that I'm bad at updating. Since this is the 60th cover, I'm going to be posting the covers again. And that wraps us up for this week. Next week, or next episode, Janine, you want to know what happens?
What happens next episode?
Some really fucked up shit's going to happen to Zoro, and you're going to be like, what the hell? That is awful. That is badass, but it is awful.
Damn, okay. I'm a little scared now, but I guess I have no choice but to keep on watching.
Yeah. But also, you're going to cry.
Oh, holy shit, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, there's a bunch of stuff, and cover chapters are going to be canonical in ways that you don't know. Iceberg is going to hire a secretary, and we have a new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror to cover.
Ooh.
And I think it's going to be a bad one.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, but we do get like a genuinely good episode.
Ooh.
And, yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that wraps us up for this week. We will be back in 2 more weeks with another episode as we wrap up Thriller Bark and then get into filler time. Drink up. It's filler time. Everybody, yeah, rock your body, yeah, everybody, rock your body right. The Straw Hat survived the night.